Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So here I want to cover how you can get 100% Mount Bolster, starting out with 0% and then spending less than 6 million Astral Diamonds to get 100%. Alternatively, you spend about 500k and just have VIP. Be aware, this is only capable within this current week, where you have the Astral Lockbox event and the Wondrous Bazaar discount event and the Trade Bar discount event. Absolutely huge for character progress, reducing your costs significantly, and in this video we cover mounts. Also be aware we've just had the summer festival and people have gone and opened quite a lot of these packs, which gives you different legendary mounts, which you can go on to sell. And of course, if you took advantage of the event, you could have lots of mounts already, cutting down your costs quite a bit. But what this means is you can also take advantage of that by then going to the auction house and looking for mounts. Search quality on legendary, and you can see that they are super cheap these days. Going for like 20,000 at the lowest point, averaging out to be like 40,000, and you can get 10 of them then for like less than 500,000 Astral Diamonds. This would have been a dream back in the day when these things cost over 10 million. So yes, you could just buy 10 of these. Particular ones to note is the Pegasus, which you can obtain, giving you a combat power which is super useful. It's going to be great multi-target damage for any damage dealer out there, also giving you a damage boost. And as a support, you can use it for that to give your team the damage boost. Just be aware of the price skyrocketing after this video. People like to manipulate the market, but hopefully things will settle back down in a week or two. Just keep your eyes open. Additionally, I highly recommend you doing the Reaper's Challenge, and you can get legendary mounts for free, and there is a very useful one for damage dealers again, and that is going to be the legendary Giant Toad. And for supports, the Swarm and the T-Rexes are there. This legendary Giant Toad, when upgraded to Mythic, is going to deal 3000 magnitude, absolutely massive for single target damage in those boss fights. Now back to those cheap legendary mounts, you may not want to actually buy 10 of them. Sure, it might be like the most cheapest way to get Bolster, but generally not the best way, because you have a stable where you'll need to put 5 of those mounts. And if you're buying 10 and upgrading them, yes, you will then have 100% bolster, but you may not have any good mounts for your stable. And so you can take a bit of foresight and go ahead and look for mounts that will actually be good in your stable and go and earn them. There are quite a lot of events that come around repeatedly, which you can get 4-slot mounts. For example, the Summer Festival that just went by. This one right there, the Jubilee event, has 2 legendary 4-slot mounts, and I'm sure there'll be lots more to come with future events. Just keep your eye out, and you can play it a bit more patiently rather than immediately rushing for 100% bolster. As a result of the Summer Festival, we did get some new 4-slot mounts on legendary, which is the Ebon Riding Lizard, the Radiant Rune Board, and the Slab of Vecna. All 4-slot mounts, which could be a bit cheaper than say buying a mythic one, but it's still significantly more expensive than the cheapest legendary mounts. 300,000 for the Ebon Riding Lizard, 900,000 for the Slab of Vecna, 333,000 for the Radiant Rune Board. But let's jump back to my example where, sure, you get those legendary mounts, and if you wanted to get 100% bolster the cheapest way possible, you buy 10 of these. And again, it can cost you a total of less than 500,000 to just get 10 different ones. But they are all, again, 3-slot mounts. Not the best. So we have a character just here to show you as an example. 0 mounts, no bolster whatsoever. Starting from scratch as if you had nothing. Now, wherever you do get your mounts, it is best to get them on legendary, as upgrading them from, say, purple will be a lot more costly for you. You can see upgrading from purple needs 150 tokens, and upgrading from legendary to mythic is 200 tokens. So it'd be like 350 tokens to get epic mount to mythic versus just 200 for a legendary mount. So again, we take the opportunity that legendary mounts are super cheap, and we can go obtain 10 of them, spending like 400 to 500,000 astral diamonds. You shouldn't have to spend more than that. You're then going to need to go and equip all of them. And once you do so, you're going to end up with 50% Mount Bolster already. Halfway there, only spending like 5 days worth of astral diamonds, because again, I do recommend just doing your random queues every day. You get this rough AD and you should easily get that 100,000. You'll refine it and that's 100,000 per day, and so in 5 days that's 500,000, enough to purchase all of those mounts. So once you have them started, you can see 50% Mount Bolster already. Very nice. We got, say, that legendary giant toad. It's going to deal 1,500 magnitude. And we've got the opportunistic. It's going to give us 1,500 item level and a bit of combat advantage. Very good for damage dealers right there. And we can also then go choose the Pegasus mount power, switching to that when we need to kill groups of enemies. It's currently at 500 magnitude. So then what you do is you go to your stable and you need to get these upgraded. So you're going to need to acquire these tokens. And this is where it is important that we have the week that gives us the Astral Lockbox, the Wonder Star discount, and the Trade Bar discount. Because what you want to do is go farm some Astral Diamonds and spend it on Astral Lockboxes. You will need a total of 89 of these, and then you can upgrade all 10 legendary mounts to Mythic. Let's show you how. Alternatively, you can just have VIP and you can save up the keys from having VIP and save 89 of them, because 1 day of VIP, 1 enchanted key, is pretty much worth the same as an Astral Lockbox in this exact setup. So I'm going to assume you either purchased 89 Astral Lockboxes, or you've got a combination of keys and Astral Lockboxes, or you've saved up enough of that many keys. Now, every single lockbox will give you trade bars, and this is the important factor. Now, I'm just going to open these up quickly. It does not matter at all what rewards they give me. I can get lucky and reimburse some of the Astral Diamonds I spent to purchase these Astral Lockboxes, but I'm not going to take that into account. It's absolutely, yes, going to save you some Astral Diamonds, allow you to get a bit of a return on your investment. But you can see 89 opened, we received 3,940 trade bars. We got a little bit unlucky by 60 trade bars, so we might have to buy 2 or 3 more Astral Lockboxes. We'll do that. We'll just purchase, say, 1 more for now, open that, we get another 40 trade bars. We need to get to 4,000 trade bars. So at the minimum, the next Astral Lockbox is going to give that. So yes, in this example, we did have to get 91 Astral Lockboxes. But there you go, 4,000 trade bars, which is exactly what we needed. Now during this discount event, you'll be able to spend all of those for your mount tokens, and you'll be able to, yes, indeed, get 2,000 mount tokens. It won't let me purchase all of them at once, but we'll just buy 100 at a time here, and we will spend all of those trade bars. And again, this is only for this trade bar event. You will need to, if you're watching this video when this event has passed, or don't have the resources or the keys available, and you want to mirror this, just wait for the next trade bar event. Now, again, you're getting trade bars through your Astral Lockboxes, which we just did, but alternatively, you'll spend enchanted keys, and it's the equivalent, like 1 enchanted key is basically 1 Astral Lockbox. They'll give you the same average amount of trade bars. But there you go, 2,000 mount upgrade tokens, exactly what we need to upgrade all 10 of our mounts to Mythic, as they all cost 200. You can see we'll upgrade this toad, and that will immediately give us the ability, which now has 2325 magnitude, which again is a pretty big increase from what it was at just 1500. In order to get this to 3000, we'll need the improvement of bolster. Every mount you upgrade to Mythic will give you another 5% bolster when you get it from Legendary. So next we'll do our Pegasus. This will give us that grand inspiration power to now have 800 magnitude. Again, very good. And a 12% damage buff, which will increase when we upgrade and get our bolster. But at this point, you can just like stop and you're already set up pretty good for most of the game. Like if you look at my upgrade guide here, upgrading mounts is not that important. You can just get, say, 2 mythic mounts, one for multi-target, one for single target. Again, heavy focus on the single target one first, as that will be your priority. But again, as per this upgrade list, you could wait on getting mounts upgraded to Mythic when you're like 68,000 item level, and then once you're at like 99,000 item level, you can upgrade another 4 mounts to Mythic, and when you're at like 103,000 item level, you'll upgrade another 5 mounts to Mythic, and then you would have finally your 100% bolster and you're well over 100,000 item level. So it's not that important, but it does allow you to max out your character, again, for very cheaply. So you just get all of the rest upgraded here in order to upgrade your other ones, as we do have just then 5 of these here, now 75% bolster. You'll need to go and swap like them out from your stable, upgrade it, swap out another one, upgrade it. I don't know why you can't just upgrade them from here, but they don't let you. You have to have them in your stable. But there you go. All 10 mythic mounts, 100% bolster, and that's it. You spent less than 6 million Astral Diamonds to do so. This is the example here. Purchased all 10 of those legendary mounts. Again, I do recommend having, say, the legendary giant toad from, say, the Reaper's challenge. You can purchase it off the auction house, but it will be a lot more on the expensive side. You can see 220,000. That might be worth it for you if you can save up another 2 days to 3 days of Astral Diamonds. Just buy it there. But again, just be aware of the price being manipulated and spiked up above that. I wouldn't spend much more, but that's a decent deal rather than spending 30 days worth of VIP right here to get, say, it there. Because alternatively, you can spend each of those marks on like even more trade bars right here, which is the equivalent of like 12.5 upgrade tokens right now during the discount event. But again, there's the example, spending less than 6 million Astral Diamonds to max out your stable with 100% bolster and some not bad mounts either. Legendary Giant Toad, high value for single target damage dealers, and the Pegasus, high value for the multi-target effect and the buffing effect. And you can see now everything's maxed out, 1000 magnitude on there, and the Toad is 3000 magnitude. Yes, you might not be like super min-max. You might miss like 3% damage if you were, say, a physical damage dealer and you could use Big B's hand instead. But for the price of Big B's hand these days, missing 3% damage on your mount power attack is like nothing compared to overall. It's going to be like a fraction of a percent damage you're missing. It's just for like super min-max, and I wouldn't spend that much on a mount when you can get this one off a lot cheaper, and they're basically going to have the same effect for most people. You can see a bit of a breakdown here through the costs and the pricings of things. So you're spending your Astral Lock boxes about 60,000 Astral Diamonds. Sure, you might have to spend more if you don't have VIP. Like right now I have VIP rank 12, which stacks us up with the Wondrous Bazaar discount event to 40% and getting each one for 60,000. If you do want to play this game seriously and push the end game, I do recommend getting VIP as soon as you can. You may spend a bit more on those Astral Lock boxes if you purchase them from other players, and you'll spend like 66 to 67,000. So it'd be a little bit more expensive, but again, having VIP gives you an enchanted key every day. I do not recommend at all buying enchanted keys here directly, as it can just be a waste. Like 10 enchanted keys for like 1,000 Zen versus 30 enchanted keys with like 1 month of VIP. There's like no real question why it's not worth to buy enchanted keys. Just be patient and have VIP. Now, to emphasize again, buying the 10 cheapest legendary mounts and upgrading them to mythic just to get 100% bolster is not really practical. All of those cheapest mounts are going to be having 3 insignia slots, which means you're not going to have any that are good for your stable. You will want 4 slot mounts, not just the cheap 3 slot mounts. Like I said already, you can get quite a few 4 slot mounts just through events by being patient. You don't have to go out of your way spending millions to obtain them. I do recommend opening the lockboxes from your VIP keys and you'll obtain one, like the Demon Wings, super good with the ability to have Tactician's Precision on a damage dealer. It's a game changer for your rotation. The current lockbox has the Bestial Fire Archon, which also has Tactician's Precision, so it does make it one of the best lockboxes to open, although I would be inclined to say the lockbox with the Demon Wings is even better because it also has an account-wide mythic artifact, the Crystal of Soul Flight. But that lockbox is pretty expensive these days and no longer available for any newer players other than here. But again, you can play the long game. Yes, you can simply buy 5 of the cheapest legendary mounts and get them upgraded for bolster that you need anyway, and then focus on getting 5 good mounts to use for your stable. I would include the Pegasus and say the legendary giant toad as one of your just bolster mounts that you're going to use as the powers. You're not going to use either in your stable, but from there, yes, work towards getting ones with good bonuses with 4 slots. I mean, even then, it's not the biggest priority. Like, getting insignias is actually not that important these days. You can get your legendary insignias at around like 60,000 item level, and you can just use 3 slot mounts, sure. And by the time you're approaching 100,000 item level, then you can get them all at mythic, and you can get your final 5 mythic mounts with the 4 slots, as again it is pretty expensive for the benefit you gain. And other than Tactician's Precision, there's no real game changing insignia that's a must have that has 4 slots. Hopefully this is not too confusing. Ultimately, it's just to show how, yes, you can get 100% mount bolster very cheaply right now. Less than 6 million, it's kind of crazy compared to how it was. You just have to be aware that it's not always the best to get the cheapest when looking to optimize your character for endgame. But nor do you have to go and buy the most expensive things out there. Overall, thanks for watching. A special thank you to all the channel members, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.